Hello everyone, how are you doing this evening? I thought I would join you this evening. I haven't really talked about adoption a lot recently because um, since moving to Korea and then staying there and then moving back and all of the transition of all of that, it's been really difficult for me um, to share a lot. So I had to kind of step back and do things kind of in a different way for myself because I needed to heal, if you will. But what I wanted to do, kind of in honor of adoptees and our, narratives in this month that we call National Adoption Month. I wanted to kind of share with you a little bit of it's actually the most read post I have on my blog, but it was called What Sucks About Being Adopted. So I'm just going to kind of go over some of the most poignant things, right? So November is also my birth month, or supposedly my birth month. So number one was I have no birth certificate. Okay. So every time I need to prove that I was born, I have to dig out my naturalization papers from the U.S., as well as my adoption papers, which are in Korean. I also, because I don't have a birth certificate, I also don't have a true birth date. Now, I've gone through a lot of my medical records, and it would appear that at the time that they said I was 6 months, or the agency said I was 6 months, that the medical center that saw me actually thought I was 9 months. And that was expressed in the paperwork. And so, that would put my birthday not being in November, but possibly in August, September, maybe the end of July. I don't know. But it does change things for me. And, along with that goes, I don't have a birth story, which I have for my own children. And that's really, I'm really happy that I have that for them, but I don't have a birth story. It also means that, my daughter loves like tarot cards and astrology, and there's no way to determine, what my rising this or that is because we don't know what time I was born or what day. I also talked about not having medical history, and I still don't have medical history. And it's interesting because I did ask my doctor recently if I could get genetic testing. And the medical center that would do that for me cannot do that for me because you have to have some form of illness in your family history to warrant genetic testing. So it's kind of a catch-22, so I can't have it. And then the other thing I talked about in this one was reading or hearing the phrase, like you're adopted, okay? And this is not said in a very positive light. And we talk about animals being adopted. And to be honest, sometimes I feel like that adoptees and children in foster care are looked at almost like, these puppies or kittens that are left at the side of the road, or I don't know. It just, it does not speak well. And that word has always bothered me, the word adopted. mainly because that is a verb that's done to us. And it also relates to one of the other things I really dislike, which is being viewed as a child. So back in 2014, when we did the Flip This Script, we were covered by a lot of different media outlets. And it was just very interesting the way in which they posed this. This was a picture of me. At the time, I was in my late 40s, yet we still wanted to talk about, adoption from a child's point of view, even though I was an adult. So anyway, that's another one. And then, of course, I am so happy to see more narratives based on those of us who have shared in the past. I think, we did a lot of sharing in 2014, and I think there's a lot more sharing that goes on now. Obviously, Twitter is a big place where that happens. But, I think we still have a long way to go, and one of the things I wanted to share now is just kind of some songs recently that the lyrics have really spoken to me and spoken to the struggle that I have as being an adoptee. It's something that I think so many of us struggle with. And that is kind of that idea of, and especially for those of us who are internationally adopted, it can be even more difficult for us to find our original families. And I like to call them original or first families. Birth relatives, that kind of bothers me because that makes a woman out to be just some sort of baby making machine, which women are not. And then, so in terms of all this, when I think of, right now, if I, obviously I don't think this is my birthday, but on the day that I'm born, I wonder if my own mother, what her life looks like. And this song by CL really said a lot of that for me. And I know she wrote it based on the loss of her mother and the death. But for me, my original mom, it's as though she's dead because I can't see her. I can't talk to her. And, I'm not there. I can't see her. I can't talk to her. I can't have a dialogue with her. And that's extremely painful for me, especially knowing that my own children mean so much to me. And then the final line that really, I do wonder, on the day that I was born or the day that she relinquished me, if she did so, do I still cross her mind? Does she still think of me? That would be something that I would love to know, and obviously I don't have access to that. I think a lot of you already know how loss has affected me. I've lost so many things recently. I've already lost my adoptive mom, my adoptive father, and I lost a cat when we were living in Korea, who was my cat. And then just last month, I lost the cat that became my cat after I had lost that cat in Korea when I came back home. And now, there are songs that speak to that loss that I have. And I think, I wonder what I thought about the what a child, how I, as a young child, and I would say I was probably more like 15, 16 months old when I was adopted, what thoughts, I had no idea what was going on and what was going to continue to happen. Um, and then I felt like this lyric in this song, too, again by Coldplay, um, they said love is only equal to the pain. And I know that pain so well with my adoptive parents' loss, with other losses in my life. Um, but I also know that the pain I feel for my original mother, it's so real and it's so painful that I know she loved me. I can't imagine that she didn't love me. And I think that's an important thing, but I, and so, the last part of this song talks about, but you're still with me now, and I know it. And I know that when I look in the mirror or when I look at my daughter, I know that I can still see her. And I think I've talked about this. My original mother, I have pictures of her that I thought were my foster mother. But now I can look at them and I can see my daughter's face in that picture of that original mother. So, I just think it's so important, and I that tie that we have. And like I said, I don't really want to talk about it too much, but because it's this month and because of how painful this month is and because of how painful my birthday is, and celebrating it, I just really felt the need to share today. And I appreciate any of you who watch this. It means the world to me. And I hope somewhere out there that my original mother knows that I'm going to keep searching, and that I eventually hope to live in Korea so that if she does ever want to find me, that I'll be easier to find. And that I'm always going to be thinking of her. So anyway, I wanted to just say good evening, and again, thank you for everyone who's listened to me. It's amazing. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening, okay? I hope that everything in your life is going well. And have a great holiday season. Take care.